fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction, he's got rhythm, both of them! Maloney!
Oh, he's taken Anderson! Anderson's up top!
Oh my God! Oh, big crash! Oh my goodness, half the field's gonna get rolled!
Six very close. These guys are going to want to make their way through the field very quickly.
Oh, there we go!
Oh no! That's massive! This is it! This is over! I can't believe this! Oh my God!
God, what?
This is iRacing, the world's premier online racing game. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat to experience today's newest form of competitive motorsport, virtual racing, all from your home PC. Race virtually in endorsed series from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, the World of Outlaws, Aussie Supercars and more. Take on legendary circuits like Daytona, Silverstone and the Nürburgring. Join iRacing's global online racing community and get on track today at iRacing.com.
Yeah, so we're using the VRS Direct Force Pro this year. We have a wheel adapter right here, so I'm using the rim I used last year, but the motor right here produces a lot of power, a lot of precision, and it helps me, just feel the car more, feel the car a lot quicker, especially, this week we're at Sonoma. I can feel it, when it hits the curbs, any little change in the car, the wheel reacts a lot quicker than your typical gear-driven or belt-driven wheel. For example, if you're on oval and the rear tires break loose, force feedback on it corrects a lot quicker than your typical wheels. There's no resistance pretty much as far as being able to make quick corrections on the wheel. So all that, paired with how precise the wheel itself is, it makes it to where it helps you as a driver, to find that extra hundredth or thousandths of a second. So when you're getting a direct drive wheel, especially the VRS wheel, it's heavy duty. It's got good weight to it, it's not a plastic toy. It feels like you can really beat up on it. A lot of people have issues with their plastic gear-driven wheels just kind of breaking after a couple years. This thing just feels like it can go forever. The forces are really strong where if you might have to let go of the wheel if you get into the wall. You can adjust all that with the settings on it and stuff, but the wheel itself doesn't play around. It's got way more strength than you could ever need, and that's what makes it good, that you can adjust that down to whatever the car needs. So initially you'll be able to get the controller box and the motor together, and eventually you will be able to add a rim onto that option. They'll also be including a button plate on it to put on the rim to have all sorts of different buttons and functionality. Also, pedals are coming, so that's a pretty big deal as well. Hasn't been covered too much, but the goal is to also have pedals to go along with the Direct Force Pro. So that's pretty exciting. The wheel feels good. It feels very much like a real world steering wheel. You just kind of feel like what you would imagine the car to feel like. A real steering wheel in a car is very smooth, it's very direct, very quick, and that's what this wheel feels like.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to week 2 of the V8 Supercar Americas series right here on Sim Speed. My name is JD Smith, and with me tonight, Kane Kraft, as we get ready to bring some great racing from Circuit to Barcelona. Kane, welcome to the broadcast, buddy. We got a good night of racing ahead. We're going to be racing under the beautiful sunset here in Spain. And we have some exciting week 2 action. For those that joined us last week and when we tackled Bathurst, what a week. If you have not seen that race, go back, give it a watch. I think you guys won't be disappointed. And I hope that big action continues tonight as we head into week 2 of our final season here in 2021. Kane, welcome to the show, bud. How are you this wonderful evening?
Good. I'm really looking forward to a race here this evening that is going to go into the dark, going to finish under the lights, I presume, and it's such a beautiful track, Barcelona. I haven't been on it in one of these cars to see how tough it is in one of these cars, but in the F1 game, this is a really tough track. It's really flowy, but then it gets to some really tough parts. So it'll be interesting to see how these cars do here.
And it is a historic layout. Now, it's not a huge change, very minor, but it is the historic layout over the traditional Grand Prix layout. So that will be fun. Each lap is just shy of 3 miles in length. And tonight is hopefully going to put on a really good race for us here at Barcelona, Catalunya. And great footage there from Jay Kennedy on your screen as we just saw that track map and a great overview of the track right now as the boys are out getting qualifying underway. Looking at tonight's race distance, we're looking at 127 kilometers. That's 79 miles. And when we look at the big old pit window for tonight, it's going to be around laps 8 and 19. It seems that every week our pit window comes into conversation, and that's for good reason. It's had some really big and adverse effects on finishing positions this and last season. So tonight we'll keep an eye on the trends of pit road and see how that goes. 27 laps total tonight. Should be a good sweet spot for distance. And like I said, Kane, I think it's just kind of the right distance, not too long, not too short. And we'll see how it goes. Qualifying is underway, little over 3.5 minutes left, as we have some guys out there right now trying to impress and get a good spot.
Yeah, they don't get too many tries at this qualifying with only 8 minutes to get a lap in. They'll only get a couple good tries at it, so they'll want to lay down a good lap quickly.
Yeah, they're going to want to put down a good, healthy lap. Obviously, as always with every race, obviously the grid is very important. You want to get the best starting position you can. But like you said, qualifying, when you only get a few, the short qualifyings that we have, you don't get many opportunities for mistakes. So you have to get out there and really work to get that hot lap in the first or second attempt. You're not going to get much more than that. So once you get out there, your out lap takes up a good bit of time, and then you really have to make things happen. So guys out on the track right now, getting things underway. And looking at the track, or some of the drivers out there tonight, we're going to see some familiar names and a few new names tonight. So we'll be on with that here. Let's take a look at our qualifying right now. Let's look at and right now, up at the very top, it is Kuznetsov who has the fastest time, which is a 1:42.1 is the time to be currently. And Kane, just a beautiful evening here at Barcelona de Catalunya here in Spain. Absolutely gorgeous track conditions, as you saw on your screen just a moment ago.
Yeah, partly cloudy skies. Temperatures are looking really, really optimal. I think we're going to have an excellent race. Some of the guys missing this week, like you said, our defending champion Corey Shepard's not here. Jackson Harlow is not here, and a couple others. So it's gonna be, this is an opportunity for several of these drivers to get in here and get a win.
Yes, absolutely. I agree 100%, Kane. It's a great opportunity for these guys to get out here. It's also week 2, so with only 1 week in the books, it's still a fresh season. Really, it's anybody's game, or as they say, anybody's game. It's anybody's race tonight, and that really is what we're looking at. You got a fresh start, obviously, with Bathurst last week. Let's look at our starting grid for week 2. It's going to be Rick Kuznetsov with the pole position. The 1:42 was fast enough. And outside of front row, it will be Rian Lianage. As we look back to row 2, it'll be Brian Borg with Kenneth Latter to the outside. In the third row, it'll be Matt Thompson with Thomas Freeman in row 3. Moving on back, it'll be James Chastanoff and Sebastian Touchier in row 4. Row 5 will consist of Vincent Skilbeck and Togo Hisada. Tim Mulford and Paul Young make row 6. Moving on back to the 7th row tonight, it's going to be Darren Shannon and Roy Clark. In row 8, it's going to be Jason Fewens and Dale Green. And bringing up row 9, it'll be Chad Williams. That is our starting line up for tonight's race as we get ready to grid up and watch the lights go green.
A little bit of a smaller field here in Barcelona. These grids can hold up to 32 cars, but they also split if we get more than 32 cars that join a session. iRacing will split that amount, those cars in half, and arrange them by their I rating. And so tonight we only have a 19-car grid.
Yeah, don't let the small grid disappoint. Sometimes we've seen small grids impress. Now, obviously, sometimes you think more cars equals better, but not always, especially on a track like Barcelona. Now, last week I would have had to say, you know what, I would be a little worried with a small grid like this. It's such a big track, but this track a little smaller than what we saw with Bathurst. I think it's going to come out to be a great race. I don't want to jinx anything either before we get going, but I am looking forward to what a potential great race tonight here in week 2 of the V8 Supercar America Series.
Last season we had a couple races that split weird and gave us a small grid like this, and I don't recall any of them being any less exciting just because they were a smaller grid.
No, not at all. Not at all. And as the guys are getting those final seconds here to grid, we'll be looking for some revs and some lights. And I think we're almost there. So let's get ready, guys. The revs are kicking. Let's get ready to go racing in week 2 of the America Series. We are away. Gonna go 3 and 4 wide as we pan down into turn 1. Let's make sure everybody gets through good. We are literally a door-to-door. Great job by Rick Kuznetsov, who is able to hold on to the lead, closely followed by Rian Leonage. And if we look back, there's another battle right there for 3rd place with Brian Borg and Kenneth Latter. Following them, it is Thomas Freeman and Matt Thompson. That is how we get started. And here we are, already a passing opportunity, looking right behind them in the Racecraft Ford Mustang. That is Sebastian Tichier as he tries to make a move. He's going to look to the outside here, Kane. Let's see if he can get the pace. He will. We're going to have a little bit of trouble here. Car goes around. That's the number 10 car of Thomas Freeman. And we're going to have to take another look at that. Is also the number 12 machine of Matt Thompson involved in that incident. Let's take a look at the Racecraft replay and find out what happened. Boy, things happened so fast there. Let's see. I was looking at the battle behind, and we saw the pass attempt on the outside, and it was up in front. Oh, we saw right there the number 12 car gets into the number 10, sends them around, and they pile up. A good job of avoidance to the outside there. You see about 4 cars that were able to make their way around, but that is unfortunate so early in this one.
Rick Kuznetsov up in front, really starting to pull away, almost 2 seconds ahead of 2nd place, Brian Leonage.
Yeah, Leonage going to have to try to find some pace. Great battle for 3rd place right now with Kenneth Latter as he tries to make a move. Also, another great battle, looking at it on your screen right now, that is the number 14 car trying to make a pass. Here, look at this to the outside, Vincent Skilbeck. Let's see if he can make this stick. He's looking for this outside pass. I don't know if he's got it. He does. Great pass there for Vincent Skilbeck. And as you look from the onboard footage behind him, there was another pass attempt on the inside. Don't know if that was completed. And look how tight it is all the way through. Not just the front, but the mid-pack. We got some great racing early in this one. boy, really getting tight up here. Vincent Skilbeck is ahead of Tim Mulford, and the battle behind them heating up as well with Paul Young and Cameron Jones. Cameron Jones in the KFC going to make some contact. He's going to cause some trouble because there goes Paul Young in the number 11. I'm sorry, in the number 11 Commodore, and the VFS Commodore is into the wall. Goes through. We're going to have to take another look at that one as some contact was made, and unfortunate event for those. I knew there was some very tight racing going on there. Let's look at the VRS replay. And you see right now on board, you're looking ahead, and we saw a pop in and a pop out. That looked like some internet troubles there, and I hate that might have been the cause of that incident, Kane. We've seen it before, and I hate to see that. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. Internet, just that split second of a disconnect can cause some issues, just like what you saw there.
It's the real world equivalent of just a freakish mechanical failure. I mean, it really is. That's about, oh, look at this great side-by-side footage right here. Boy, Mazomo trying to make it up into 13th. Let's see if he can do it. He's trying on the outside and unable to do so, but still a great opportunity. That was a good chance there from Simon Mazomo. He's going to get back up here and try again, but he's got his hands full down on the inside.
Whoa.
There's more contact. Boy, we are getting very racy and very aggressive
Still
as they
banging.
get into each other right there. Very, very racy indeed. Chad Williams, who you're looking at right now, got sent around. Let's take a look back at that, Kane, and I'll get your opinion on what just happened.
Oh, it looks like he just went in just a little deep there and made contact, and then from there, he's the one that got banged around.
I think he thought he was clear and came across the hood there. I think he really thought he was clear and just wasn't clear. Guys, we are on lap 4 of 27 tonight, and with this race very action-packed early, and it looks as this is going to continue as we have just seen some incredible, very aggressive racing early, but it's how it's got to be. These, like I said, these races are not too long. They are a good distance, and you don't have time to sit back and relax. You got to get on it quick, and we're seeing that. Unfortunately, we've seen some guys get tangled up in the process. Do have a car down pit road, and that is going to be Jason Fewens, as we saw a moment ago. Let's take a look as you guys are looking on the field right now. Just behind Vincent Skilbeck there, we got another 2-car battle going on right there. And really everybody kind of calming down here for a second. Hopefully everybody can settle in here. Still plenty of racing left in this one.
Up at the front, things are starting to kind of spread out a little bit because Netsov is out to an excellent lead. Lianich has a little bit of a gap back to Brian Borg, and Kenneth Latter is starting to he's now starting to catch back up a little bit to Brian Borg. We may end up seeing a battle there between Kenneth Latter and Brian Borg. Tixier is trying to reel those guys in. He's back in 5th. He's trying to reel those guys in to get up there and battle for 4th.
I think you are right, King. Kenneth Latter in the number 2 Simrigs Mustang. Got a really good pace going at the moment. He is trying to make that argument that he should be up in the 3rd place. He's got to get around the Racecraft. Let me get that out of there. The Racecraft Mustang. And Brian Borg holding it down. Let's see how that develops over the next few laps.
And we have seen so many battles between these two drivers, Kenneth Latter and Brian Borg, over the last season. And some of them didn't end quite so favorably for either driver. So it'll be interesting once they get up there and start battling. They've had some excellent battles, and then they've had some that kind of went sour. So
back here, I'm sorry, Kane. Back here at the battle for 13th, Simon Mazzomo is trying to hang on as Thomas Freeman, giving him all he can take. That's a really good battle back here for 13th at the moment. And it looked like it was really about to get there for a second as we saw Freeman back off just a hair. But he is right there, and he's going to look. He thought about making that passing opportunity there. It was not open, but he is really looking for an opportunity here. As you see, they're passing Darren Shannon there. Yeah, I think he may have had a slowdown penalty. I'm not 100% sure, but he was 10th last I looked. Let's see what happened to Darren.
Off in the grass for some reason, but I wasn't able to see what put him there.
Good battle here for second place. You guys looking on your screen. That is Rayan Leonage and Brian Borg. Here we are back at the battle for 12th place with Freeman and Mazzomo. Mazzomo was not able to hold on to that position. And we did see the pass there from Thomas Freeman. A great job there from the number 10 car. And he is able to hold that 13th spot. I know Simon Mazzomo would love to have got that back, but unfortunately was not able to do so. So we'll see now that Thomas Freeman has made that pass. He has a little bit of open track in front of him. We'll see if he can keep moving up.
Up ahead of them, James Chastanoff in the 11th spot. A lot of damage to the Emu machine, but he's still got pretty decent pace. Even though the machine looks like it's been through the ringer, he's still got some pretty good pace.
Yeah, Roy Clark and Tim Mulford, they're going to go at it. That looks like the battle for 8th place when the Melbourne Hydrographics Commodore able to hang on to 8th momentarily, but Roy Clark looking very good.
Roy Clark, a driver who usually has a fan or two watching on the YouTube chat. If you guys are out there, hello, welcome to Sim Speed.
Welcome and glad to have you. Make sure you guys leave some comments down there, and we'll try to check them as the race progresses. Maybe we can answer some questions, or if not, you can laugh at us trying to answer questions. That's how I look at it.
Skillbeck putting some pretty good pressure on Cameron Jones for that 6th position.
Yeah, the KFC Commodore trying to hang on for dear life because he does see Skillbeck in that rearview mirror. And that is just one of several great battles on the track. Rian Leonage going to have his hands full in just a moment. With about 2 to 3 car lengths away is Brian Borg. And the Racecraft Mustang trying to close the gap on Leonage, and we'll see if he is able to do so. And also keep in mind, as the race does progress, we are currently on lap 7 of 27. Remember that pit window in about 2 laps time will open, and we'll start to see scheduled pit stops anywhere from that point on. So this, with the way the race started today, Kane, and we had some early incidents, and it did kind of space a few things out. It'll be interesting to see how pit stops shake up the running order and the track position and ultimately. So we'll see how that happens. Look on the outside right now, the number 14 machine, Roy Clark, really wide turn through there. Let's see the virtual racing school replay. I was kind of talking and looking away, and I come back and saw he was really out there. And that would be why.
He just lost it. He just lost the rear end.
Yeah, he did, Kane. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate there for Roy Clark, but he's back on the track. No damage to the car. So get back on there and make it up. Look at this. Brian Borg has really closed the gap went from about a 3-car length down to about a car length now, and he is within striking distance. Kane, you've got to think Leonich has got to be feeling this pressure coming up from Brian Borg.
Yeah, Brian just got it together all of a sudden a lap or two ago, and has really been turning out some good laps. They have pulled away even from Kenneth Latter, who was trying to battle with Brian Borg there. They've left him back many car lengths behind, and now Brian Borg in a battle for second place.
You know, before I make a silly fool of myself, this is an open setup series. Correct? I just want to double check that before I say my next comment. That okay. In case it hadn't changed over the past 5 years. But, you know, one thing we don't talk about much is setups. And one thing we may be seeing from Brian Borg, Kane, he may have a setup that is set up for a longer run. He's had some heat in the tires. He didn't look quite as fast earlier in the race, but maybe his car's set up to strategically do this. He has found some pace and putting it to work. Sometimes guys will set up for the long run, and it'll pay off. Look here, he's going to make a look. It's not time for the pass yet, but he's definitely setting it up. He's given some different looks to Leonich, and we'll keep an eye on Brian Borg as he looks to get up into that second spot here. Pit window is open, guys, so keep your eyes on pit road. We'll let you know as soon as we get some takers. Looks like Thomas Freeman headed down pit road right now.
To add to what you were saying about the setups, there is several adjustments that these guys can make on the fly as they're racing these races. Some bar adjustments and some brake bias adjustments. He may have just made an adjustment that is really, really working for him as well.
I'm glad you pointed that out, Kane. That's a great point. He could have made the adjustment on the fly, so something to definitely take into consideration. And boy, look at the beautiful sunset right here as we look on board from the back of Leonich here, and just a beautiful sunset here in Barcelona. Week 2 action.
How challenging that is for those guys to race into that as they come back around the track, because man, that's a low sun that's going to be glaring seriously off that windshield.
That's a good point. Very good point. Looks like Leonich got himself a little breathing room, at least for the moment. Because as soon as I say that, Brian Borg's turning on the heat again.
Yeah, these two having an excellent race. I thought when Brian caught up to Leonich, he was going to make quick work of him. But Leonich, this first time really seeing him in the series here, he's really holding his own. I'm impressed.
Yeah, Leonich, obviously a very skillful driver, able to maintain this second position, and he's done so well, has not let the pressure of Brian Borg get to him at all. If you watch his lines, he's very smooth, and the car looks well. Let's looking back here at another battle on track we looked at earlier with Roy Clark and Simon Mazzomo, and Mazzomo has that 11th spot right now. Roy Clark sniffing in and trying to make himself move into the 11th spot. And we'll see if the number 14 Mustang can do it.
He has done it once before, but then he had that weird spin where he lost the rear end. Now Mazzomo almost having an issue. So that's going to allow Roy Clark to get right back up there and try again.
Boy, Rick Kuznetsov leading the race. If we haven't mentioned him in a while, it's because he's in a league of his own tonight. He has dominated from the drop of the green flag and continues to do so. And then, of course, Ray and Leonich and Brian Borg is your top three. Let's see if Borg can close this gap. I really am curious, Kane, when we'll see Brian Borg or Ray and Leonich go down pit road, because like we've seen many a times before, Guys will go in usually on separate, obviously separate strategies when they're having a battle up for a top position like we're looking at right now. And we've seen some guys make some gains in the pits, and we've also seen them definitely lose some track position. So we'll see how that unfolds. Look at this. Brian Borg really shaving off some of that right now. He is within that car length again. And just as he does, look at Leonich get a great exit off the turn. Really good exit. Boy, he really carried some exit speed out of there and was able to break that. He was within a car length, and then when he got on the exit, he really had some speed, and he made it back to a 3-car length. Even more now, he has got some really good pace on this part of the track.
That's what's great about these close battles is you can visit, especially in this battle, you can visibly see what part of the track that Leonich is better and which part of the track that Borg is faster. Now Borg closing up that gap a little bit, and
James
now he's
Chaston
really closing it up.
Yeah, he is. He's getting ready for a pass, Kane. He is getting ready to at least make a pass attempt.
Hello, we're going to get to that part of the track that Leonich is faster, and he may not get that opportunity.
What great race footage you guys are looking at right now. Just fantastic job there from race director Jay Kennedy. As always, want to thank him for a job well done as he gets some great footage here of James Chastanoff headed down pit road. He's going to go ahead and get his pit stop underway, and hopefully he'll get himself back out on the track pretty soon.
Boyd Clark in as well. That's going to give Simon Mazzomo a little breathing room.
All right, guys, lap 12 of 27 here, not quite to the halfway point yet. Great onboard footage of Brian Borg here as he continues to try to catch Leonich, but once again, the credit has got to go to Leonich. He has held his own, and he continues to look good. And he does go down pit road, so here going into the lap 13, we're going to see Rayan Leonich head down pit road. And, oh, man, he washed that speed off right there before the cone. And we'll see. This is a big pit stop for him. See if he's able to get a good stop. Pit road really popular right now as we have 2 more cars that are headed down pit road right now. You see the KFC Commodore of Kenneth Latter. And we have, let's see, I think that's it for right now. But obviously a great time in the race. Here you see another car coming down pit road. At the moment, that is Darren Shannon.
Yeah, several of them going down now. Leonich, Latter, Jones, and Shannon. See if Brian Borg was able to take advantage of that clean track and make some gains on Leonich once Leonich went into the pits.
Yeah, once we get a look at Brian Borg and where he'll come down pit road, I'm assuming he'll come pretty soon. I mean, I could be wrong. We have thought this before and seen guys really stretch out their pit window. They go all the way to the end of that window and use it all up to have maximum grip at the end of the race. But we'll see. Yes, I was correct. He is going to go ahead and head down pit road. That's Rick Kuznetsov headed down pit road in the Racecraft Commodore. Now we're back on Brian Borg. So Brian Borg decides to stay out, and he's your new race leader due to staying out. He has yet to make his pit stop, And now that he's out in this open track, I am curious when he will head down pit road. Back looking at Rayan Leonich, and he is back out on track just behind Young. And he's going to need to get around him so he can get some of that pace up. There he is. He's going to make that way around as you see Young headed down pit road.
Now clean track for Leonich as well. I really think Borg probably needs to come in. We've seen him stay out an extra long time last season once, and I think it cost him pretty good last time. So now Leonich in clean air. He's got fresh tire. He's going to be making a lot of that time back. And Brian Borg not able to turn as fast as laps. He's on old worn out tires. So this is where the pit strategy really comes into play.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Kane. This is when that pit strategy matters so much. And we'll see. It literally can change your outcome on a race. And we're going to see once they all cycle through. We do still have Mulford and Borg yet to pit. And so when they do, we'll get the full sense of where everybody stands. Simon Mazzomo got a good look there at the VFS Commodore there, trying to make his pass. And don't know if he's able to get it. Nope. Right now, Brian Borg is headed down pit road, guys. So the number 1 Racecraft Ford Mustang has headed down pit road. So he didn't wait too long. He went ahead and did head down on lap 15. So this is a really big stop for him right now. And it'll be very, very interesting to see where he rejoins the track as far as his track position goes. He is away, and let's see where he rejoins the track.
About the same place, and maybe a little further behind.
Yeah, I think he may have lost a little bit of time there, Kane. He was within about 2 car lengths of Rayan Leonich, and he is definitely further back. In fact, he's going to have to worry about Kenneth Latter now, the number 2 the Alcoholder Simrigs.com Ford Mustang, because he's actually fallen further back towards Kenneth Latter. So that was a little bit of lost track position there, and it makes you wonder, was Leonich's stop that good, or was Borg's a little slow?
I think it all came down to on-track laps after the pit stops, and before Borg's pit stop, but after Leonich's pit stop. You know, that the difference in lap times. But now Borg's got fresh tires, and Leonich is on several lap old tires, so maybe he'll be able to reel that in. Maybe that's part of the strategy. He is pulling away from Kenneth Latter relatively easily, pretty quickly, rather, I guess.
He is, but at the same time, Rayan Leonich in the number 5 Melbourne Hydrographics Commodore really looking good again. He is consistently put down really good lap times. He looks good. He looks very composed, and he's a very strong second place right now. I think if Brian Borg's going to get up there, he's going to have to really put down some good laps. Let's look at the last lap times from these guys. A 2:13.2 from Brian Borg.
Well, that was his out lap, though.
That was his out lap, Kane. I'm glad you said that, because I was like, wait a second. So a 143.1 is Rayan Leonich's, and we'll take a look at what Brian Borg is running with, as you said, Kane, those fresh tires. Rick Kuznetsov has led this race since the drop of the green flag. He is continuing to do so, and he looks absolutely fantastic, as his previous lap was a 142.6, and his Racecraft Commodore has just been marvelous. He has really made this look easy, as he has had virtually no competition since about lap 1, really since the race started, but I will say since lap 2. and it's really his race. That's he's out there Sunday driving. It looks like just out for a little easy breezy ride.
He has set the fastest lap of the race, and he continually is setting laps half a second faster than everyone else. So he's really, really dominant here today.
The Wheelie Bins Commodore, that's the number 7 machine of Vincent Skilbeck. I'm not 100% sure where he started, Kane. I don't have stats in front of me, but I feel like he is moved up a little bit, and it looks like he's got his sights ahead on the KFC Commodore of Cameron Jones up there in 6th place. So we'll see if he can make his way up, but that is Vincent Skilbeck there.
Yeah, Skilbeck qualified in the 9th spot, and he's in 7th now. But the driver he's chasing down, Cameron Jones, qualified in 18th and is, of course, in 6th.
And Togo Hisada in the Jack Daniels Mustang trying to make it around Tim Mulford. And he may have a chance to do so here. This good battle right now currently underway. And I like this. This is a good one here. Tim Mulford hanging on here, but I got a good feeling we're going to see a passing opportunity in a moment if Toga can keep up that good pace he had going just a moment ago.
Both of those are really nice looking liveries.
Man, that is they are both absolutely just slick. Loving the Jack Daniels livery as well. Of course, it's JD. Why wouldn't I like it? But it's a good one. It is really good. I love that black and white. It looks fantastic.
All right, so now Brian Borg has turned in lap time. He's running about a half a second faster than Leonich.
Yeah, and that's fun to see as he may be able to slowly close that gap, Kane. And as we look at where we're at in this race, we have 11 laps to go, so he's got the time. So how about this? We're hearing that Rayan Leonich is only 11 years old. That is impressive.
Not just that he's in 2nd place, but when you watch that car and how good of control he has over that car, that's pretty amazing.
Now, keep in mind, I was completely unbiased because I've been watching this without that information. And like you said, Kane, I've been sitting here talking about how composed and how good his car has looked all race long. Well, we got a passing opportunity right here with Thompson trying to make it around Young here, and he looked for an outside opportunity, just unfortunately was unable to get it there. Maybe he'll try again. Tons of damage on that car, but he is still out there racing that bad boy, and he may get the pass. He's going to look to the inside, but shut down. Let's see if he gets another look here. I like what I'm seeing, though. He's not letting up. He's hanging in there. Thompson continuing to try this, and I think he might have to build back some pace to try again.
Paul Young's been right in the middle of some pretty good battles today.
Yeah, he really has, Kane. Every time we looked up, I've seen him in several different ones, and here he is again. Boy, look at the glowing rotors on these cars, man. When they get on the brakes, they're just glowing. All that heat. So Brian Borg trying to catch up to Rayan Leonich. 11 years old, out there looking like a pro. And he has had a remarkable race. Brian Borg, obviously, as we've seen him in the past, he is a great talent in this series as well. Right there with him. They're going to give us quite the show as we have 9 laps remaining in this one. And it has been a fun one.
It has. It's been impressive.
Boy, beautiful track conditions as well. Sun going down here in Spain, overlooking the legendary Circuit de Barcelona, and love it, just loving it. Week 2 action here in the V8's Americas Series. Don't forget to leave a like and share the video, share the race too. If you have buddies that enjoy racing virtually or just real racing, share the video, get it out there. It helps us out tremendously, and we just want to spread the love of this series. These drivers deserve it.
Togo Hisada trying to get a move down. I hate to interrupt, especially whenever you're talking up the series, but Togo Hisada trying to get a move done on Tim Musford. Whew, he lost the rear end and drifted around the turn. That could have been a disaster, but he maintained pretty good control of the car and is still in the battle.
Yeah, that's impressive, Kane, and it's going to continue. Togo going to look for another opportunity. The back end's going to slide out on him as a replay, and I'm going live like it's live.
That's what you would have said had you been there.
That's
for the
how
live
it
event.
should have went if I would have been watching the race. Guys, I've done that in the past, and don't fear, I'll do it again. And now we're going to go back live.
Brian Borg has caught Ryan Leonich, I would say officially now, within half a second.
Yeah.
So we could have a battle really heating up here as we get into the nighttime hours. Headlights probably be coming on pretty soon, and this battle is really going to
Great graphic on the screen right now, thanks to Jay Kennedy. Look at this compared to Leonich. We're getting a good look at laps 17, 18, and 19. You can see the comparison there as we look, and just a fantastic graphic there just to show you the last 3 laps, and you can see the comparison between the two. A very tight race. As you see, Brian Borg has been able to close that gap. But what's interesting is every time that Brian Borg has been able to close the gap tonight, we've seen Ray and Leonich break away. So with 7 laps to go in this one, or just shy of, it's going to be fun to see if Brian Borg can make it happen or if Leonich is going to be able to hang on to this second spot. Regardless, they're both fighting for podium position here. It's been a fantastic run from both of these guys. Definitely the battle of the race, and I think it's going to go all the way to the checkers. I'm looking forward to see how this one goes. But I am so impressed with Ray and Leonich. After finding out only 11 years old, he looks so composed out here. And as the race gets closer to the end, we'll see if it continues. And let's see if Brian Borg can make a move. Like I said, every time he's gotten up here in the past, we've seen Leonich break away. So here he is. Let's see it.
Borg with just a little bit fresher car. I think after all these laps now, probably not enough fresher to make that big of a difference.
Yeah,
it's about 3 laps fresher of tires.
I think the benefit he had from the tires helped him catch up, but I think they're about even now. I think after we've had several laps since the pit stop under us now, I think we're probably about equal on tires now. So you're seeing these guys just race it out, and it's a good one. It's a great race. Look at that, 9 seconds is the gap between Leonich and the leader Kuznetsov. And it has just been a dominant performance from Kuznetsov. We haven't even mentioned him very much just because he's been in a class all in his own.
Yeah, having 9-second lead now, I have noticed his lap time has backed down to just being a touch faster than everyone else.
Kane, here comes Brian Borg. He is right on the tail, and he was literally almost in contact there with the back of Leonich here. This may be Brian Borg's opportunity to try to make something happen. Yeah, he is right there in the slipstream. He is looking for his opportunity, and if he didn't feel the pressure before, you got to think Leonich feels it now. Brian Borg has really fought his way back up here. He is in contention for a pass here. And if he gets the right momentum and the right passing opportunity, he's going to strike. 6 laps to go in this one here in week 2. And we have a special treat of a battle here for second place underway.
I don't think it's going to get dark enough to use the lights.
You want to see them lights, don't you, buddy?
Well, I seen in a practice session it was completely dark, so I was hoping that our race would go long enough to get completely dark.
Yeah, those practices are an hour. Sometimes it can be even longer, I think. But so, you know, they're a little bit longer than tonight's race. They may pop on. We'll see. Battle for 9th place. That's Tim Mulford and Hugo Quesada. And that is the battle for 9th place, and it is tight. Once again, the Jack Daniels Mustang, and in front of him, the same livery as we see on Leonich's car. So if you're looking, you might get them thinking you're looking at Ray and Leonich. That is not. That is Tim Mulford. And he is holding on to his spot right now. So very good. We got several good battles all around the track. 5 laps to go here in week 2 of the V8's America Series right here on SimSpeed.
Borg's still applying just unbelievable pressure to that second place car. And Leonich is still holding on to that second spot. Kenneth Latter, 3.7 seconds back from that battle that we've been keeping an eye on. That's quite a ways. Those guys have really pulled away. As I was mentioning earlier, race leader Rick Kuznetsov, he has backed his average lap time down. As I see, we got a race replay coming up.
Taking a look
Skillbeck.
Taking a look at the Willie Benz Commodore of Vincent Skillbeck from the Willie Benz Mayhem Republic. Let's see what happened here, Kane. Look, got a wheel off there into the dirt. Comes across, got a little wide there. Oh, kept it out of the sand, but lost the track time, and that's going to cause him to lose that spot. Back onto a heavy good battle right here. This is Brian Borg trying to get around Ray and Leonich, and the battle continues with 4 laps to go. Once again, every time Brian Borg gets up here,
He gets it.
Leonich able to shut it down. Here he comes, gang. He's got some speed. He's got some speed. He's going to look to the outside. And he's going to have it. Is it going to stick? I think it is. Brian Borg takes second place from Leonich. Boy, he worked for a long time for that one.
Yeah, he did. Going back live now to see Leonich trying to take it back.
The rebound.
Just not quite able to do it. But now we get to see
It's not
how
over.
good Leonich is on that chasing position, which is completely different driving than being the lead car.
It is,
So-
Kane. He's going to look. He's got an opportunity here. We've seen Leonich from the lead. Now let's see him come and try to get his spot back. We'll see if he can do it. Also, with Brian Borg out in front, he has nothing but open track in front of him. That could be an advantage for him. Let's see, though. Leonich right there with him. Here we go. This is where it's going to happen. Got a long straightaway here. Let's see if he can really get use of some little bit of draft here down the straightaway and possibly try to make a pass, an opportunity. That's exactly what we saw with Brian Borg. He was able to use the slipstream, get up and make a clean pass. Leonich unable to do so there. He is hanging right there with him. But guys, remember, Ran Leonich, 11 years old, up here in 3rd place. He has looked very, very good tonight. and Brian Borg able to get out there, get in front, and Brian Borg looking good right now, Kane.
Yeah, he's just got to hold off the hard-charging Ryan Leonich for just a couple more laps here.
Yeah, 3 laps is all that remains here in week 2, and like I said, this has been the battle of the race by far. We've had several other great ones on track, but this has been the one to watch, and it's going to continue to look to be that way for the remainder of the race. There is a battle for 5th that could possibly open up here in a second with Sebastian Tichier in the Racecraft Mustang as he holds off Cameron G. Jones there in the KFC Commodore. That one is a good one on track.
And it's worth mentioning that Cameron Jones started in 18th spot. He has worked his way all the way through the field to get up here to battle for 6th.
That is definitely worth mentioning, and that is very impressive. Vincent Skilbeck has Thomas Freeman and Tim Mulford working on him. And then, of course, Toga Hisada is in that pack as well. James Chastanoff back there in 11th. And then we have, or 12th rather, we have Matt Thompson, Simon Mazzomo, and of course behind him is Darren Shannon. So lots of good stuff around the track. There's still some good battles here as we close in, but it's been Rick Kuznetsov who has made this race look easy. He has been out here and just been so good. I mean, just impressive here. With 2 laps to go, the white flag will be waving the next time by. Leonich in a great position to make something happen. Oh, he's just got to get in there just a little bit more. I want to see him go side by side, Kane. We had incredible racing last week. We got it again this week. Let's see if we can see Leonich earn or get his spot back. He had 2nd the entire race. He started there, he held it, and Brian Borg took it away. And let's see if he can fight to get it back. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, those guys have had one heck of a race this whole race.
Oh, it's been so fun. It's been so fun. White flag waiting to wave. Here he comes, Kane. He's got an opportunity. He sticks the nose down there. If he can get some pace, he's got the inside line. He's got the pace, just not quite enough to make it get around him. He's hanging right there on the bumper, though, Kane. He's going to have another passing opportunity here in a second. Man, he's hanging in there with everything he's got. Good job there on exit from Brian Borg, able to get some good exit speed and get a little bit of breathing room down through the front stretch here. You can see the DRS zone sign there for the F1 races. That's how you know you're entering a good long straightaway. And let's see, this is a passing opportunity right here. Just not able to do it. Brian Borg having tremendous pace. We are on the final lap of the race here, guys. It's all coming down to this. Here it is, the battle for 5th with Tichier trying to get around Jones. He's got a lap to do so. Final lap is out. Kuznetsov leads the way.
I think what we were seeing there is Jones actually got around Tixier, and that's going to move Jones. Now Tixier back around Jones.
Yeah, going back and forth here, and like we said, final lap. We're going to look at the VRS replay and find out exactly what happened there.
Yeah, I think something happened with Jones.
You see him right there. He's got it. Oh, the back end's got around on him. Kane stepped out, and that is so unfortunate. As we go back live, we got to give it up for Rick Kuznetsov, who is coming around here for the final time today. He is going to take the cake and win week 2 at Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Congratulations to Rick Kuznetsov.
Comes Brian Borg. He is going to take that second spot just ahead of Ryan Leonich.
What a finish there for both Brian Borg and Ryan Leonich. And then Kenneth Latter will finish in 4th. Here comes Mulford and Chastanov, going to give it a good race all the way to the end. Can Chasty get it? He's going to have a little bit of a chance here. Let's see if he can move up another spot. Going to be a little bit. He's got an opportunity, Kane. He's going to move to the inside. If it's going to stick, he's got the pass. He does. Chasty makes the move. Fantastic job there from James Chastanov to make the last lap pass to move up. Here comes another opportunity. Can he hang in there as they go down the final stretch? He will. James Chastanov, beautifully done on the last lap of the race. Let's take another look. Now you're looking at Matt Thompson here. Look at this. Oh, man. Contact, the Emu machine of Darren Shannon making contact there with Thompson. Wada boom.
Well, JD, that was one heck of a race. Man,
That
I'm
was-
just totally impressed with how that race for that podium went.
Yeah, that was fantastic. We really had good racing all throughout. Look at this slide here. Boom. Oh, man. Contact, to say the least there. Once again, thank you all for joining us. Let's take a look at our results for tonight's race as everybody has crossed the finish line. It is a Holden in the winner's circle tonight. It's Rick Kuznetsov who takes the win. Brian Borg's going to take 2. And the final step on the podium goes to 11-year-old Rian Leonich. In 4th tonight goes to Kenneth Latterer. Sebastian Tixier will finish 5th. Cameron Jones 6th. In 7th tonight it'll be Vincent Skilbeck and Togo Hisada in 8th. James Chastanov makes the last lap pass to take 9th place, while Tim Mulford rounds out your top 10. As we carry back to 11th place, it's going to be Thomas Freeman and then Simon Mazzomo in 12th. In 13th, it'll be Dale Green with Darren Shannon in 14th. Roy Clark in 15th with 16th belonging to Paul Young. Matt Thompson will take 17th, while 18th goes to Chad Williams. 19th goes to Jason Fewens, and that is our field here in Week 2 of the V8's America Series, right here on Sim Speed. Can we get ready next week to go to Japan as we go to Suzuka Circuit for Round 3 action right here, same time next week on Friday, October the 1st. It is going to be a wonderful race as we go to Suzuka Circuit. It's like I told you, a lot of these F1 tracks we're starting to go to. It is absolutely fun. I was impressed tonight, and I think I'm going to be impressed next week, so don't miss us next week. Thoughts on next week, pal?
I love Suzuka. I think Suzuka is a great track, and I think these cars do well there. I think we're going to see another great race. Maybe some of the other guys will be back, and we will see some more great racing. But man, today was impressive.
Yeah, this series has continued to grow, and that is all to you guys, the viewers out there, the drivers, and it's all a collective effort. We want to see the V8 Supercar America Series continue to grow. It is a wonderful series with great people, and they deserve it. They deserve to be acknowledged. The great racing they provide is just impressive. As Kane points out, this is the official series on iRacing. This is not a private series, so this is open to anyone with the license and the iRating to get in the top split to be on the broadcast, but anybody can race in the Americas Series, and it's just a wonderful series. We want to thank you all for joining us tonight, and we'll be back next week for Week 3 action. Thank you all. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
This is fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction. He's got rid of the outside of both of them. Maloney.
Oh, he's taking Anderson. Anderson's up top.
Oh my God! Oh! Big crash. Oh my goodness, half the field's going to get rolled.
these guys are going to want to make their way through the field very quickly. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. That's massive. This is it. This is over. I can't believe this. Oh, my God.
God, what?